Okay, here we go. We have a startup spotlight for you. The company's name is Local Buzz. If you have any Q&A, go ahead and go into Whova and ask the questions, and then I'll come back on when we have 10 minutes left and ask them live. So, want to get going?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, kick it on over. I'll mute myself and I'll see you in a few minutes.
Sounds great. Hey, everybody. So my name is Adrian Gillette, and I am the co-founder of Local Buzz. And I have a co-founder, Tony, who is going to be joining pretty soon. We ran into a technical glitch for some reason. His Zoom invite is not working. But real quick, just want to give you guys a quick background on myself. I've been in Phoenix for quite some time. I moved here in 1990, went to Arizona State University, and been in the Valley for pretty much all of my adult life. It looks like Tony's joining. There we go. Hey, Tony. It sounds like you're on mute there. Very cool.
Sorry,
thanks for
difficulties.
Yeah, glad you got it resolved. So yeah, we're live now. So I'm just introducing myself and kind of giving my background, and then we'll do it. So just real quick, just to finish off, yeah, I've been in the Valley for quite some time. Went to Arizona State, graduated from Thunderbird, MBA over there. And then moved to San Francisco for about 5 years, from 2008 to 2013, and then moved back to Phoenix and been here ever since. So Tony, you want to introduce yourself?
Go T-Birds. What's up, everybody? What's up, Phoenix community? Shout out to everyone. Happy 2021. I want to say, I didn't get a chance to say Happy New Year's when 2021 started, but it seems like things are coming back into the community, and just want to spread out, share some good vibes. So me, I've been I'm almost 40. Half my lifetime I've been in Phoenix already, going on almost 20 years. I've been a Central Phoenix downtowner through the whole time I've been here. I have I moved here because of school, and I have I went to radiology, the healthcare career, and somehow I saved up enough money, and I ended up opening Snow in Central Phoenix. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been there. And yeah, I took this route of being a healthcare worker to a small business restaurant entrepreneur. And, just from there on, went to open second Snow and got involved more with community, especially the food community in the beginning. Started connecting a lot of communities, and, did Phoenix Night Market and did our events around town and collaborations. And, my whole goal, my whole purpose for me is to support, I think for Local Buzz as well too, is to support and serve communities. And I feel, when I met Adrian over 3 years ago, what I was doing in the community already of just trying to, highlight all these amazing things or assets that happen in our communities, these, cultural pockets and all that stuff, and bring them all together for the night market was kind of the same realm, what Local Buzz is about. And I joined on as an advisor, and next thing you know, I became a co-founder. So but here we are, 2021, and our mission, our goal is still the same: to support communities, to uplift, to bridge. Because I feel like, when you bridge cultures and communities, you get a better, strong understanding of people's backgrounds, and you get to appreciate their culture more, foods and all that stuff like that. And a lot of people I've met from the ground up are beautiful people, man. From the small mom and pops to the guy in the corner down the street to the store, to someone else, in a different area, little parts of area that just love what they do in the community that represent. And I feel like all those people, when you put these two kind of people together, they have the same kind of relationship. It's just all about, spreading love and connecting and supporting one another. So yeah.
Very cool. So just real quick, I mean, we didn't really give much context as to like what is Local Buzz, right? So I think that would kind of be the kind of the next thing to talk about. So really, essentially, Local Buzz is this social video experience that helps people to discover all the cool, interesting things that are happening in our local community. And the idea around this is to create this really great collaborative space that brings people together to really share what a what they love about their local communities. And this idea really kind of stemmed from my personal experience of, again, moving away from the Valley to San Francisco, and then 5 years later moving back to Phoenix again. I was really excited when we made the decision to come back to the Valley, to come back because we have a lot of friends and family here. But I was taken back by how challenging and difficult it was to really get a sense and feel of the Phoenix area and the Valley. So much had changed over the course of 5 years. And not only that, like our family or my personal situation had changed as well. And we had like 2 little kids when we moved back. And so we were looking for things to do. I mean, you've got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, man, they're constantly on your back. Like, Daddy, take me out to do something different. And you can't take them out to the same place day in, day out. And so I spent a lot of time like just looking for fun things to do, searching on the internet, looking at Yelp reviews, and like it was just such a time suck. I couldn't believe how bad it was. And so, you would start off the morning, hey, looking for like kids' activities. By the time you're done looking at that stuff, it's like half the day is gone, and the kids are all over your neck and all that type of stuff. And I was like, this is absolutely crazy to like have to like spend all this time of doing things. But what turned out, in terms of like the light bulb idea, what turned out to be like the coolest thing was like the best information and kind of like referrals we got were just from people that we met within the community. And I was like, wow, because like these stores, it wasn't like simply like, hey, people are just saying, oh, you should go try this out. They would describe what was amazing about the experience, right? And to me, that like was really, really powerful. That really resonated. And so this kind of like got me thinking, what is a way in which we could kind of like scale that out, right? Where we can get people to let people know, hey, there's this little particular thing that you should be checking out in the Valley. That's really cool. And so this is the genesis for Local Buzz. And so I started working on this idea for about 3 years. And like the first forum, the first version of Local Buzz was simply a WordPress site that I paid like, I got the WordPress thing, and then I found like some kind of WordPress theme for like $50 and did some minor customizations on it and stood that up. And then like the next challenge for me was like, hey, this is great that I'm contributing content on there, but this is really meant to be something that's a kind of a community driven platform. So I was like, man, I need to get out there and just like see if I can find people that would be interested in being involved in something like this and creating this like great community experience to help people discover all the cool things that are happening. And so the first thing I started to do was go to photography meetups. So I went on to meetup.com and found one where they were doing this photography meetup slash doggy happy hour type of thing. And it was at like this Asian dessert shop in downtown Phoenix. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. So, I've got photographers, dog meetups, and like an Asian dessert shop that I've never been to. I'm gonna go check it out. So I go over there and I talk to a bunch of people, and sure enough, like everybody's like, it seems somewhat interesting, but man, it's just too early type of thing, right? They weren't the early adopters, right? But one of the guys introduced me to Tony. He's like, hey, he's the owner of this shop, and he like does all these like community events all this time. I think he might be interested in this. So he introduced me to Tony, and Tony was extremely busy that time. He's just like, hey man, it sounds
there's a lot of dogs
cool.
running around. There's dogs running around in the dessert shop. You know what I mean? It was like, the event just give you guys, it was called Downtown Doggies. I think someone should bring that back. It's called Downtown Doggies.
Yeah, absolutely.
The dog meetup, the neighbor Antique Sugar helped dress up the dogs. Like, and you could dress up like your owner and your dog and take photos. Yeah, right. Like, so yeah, it was a lot of dogs.
It was a great event. So anyway, he was like, hey, come back another time. Let's meet up. Want to know a little more about what you're working on. And so, we had that talk, and I was like, hey, Tony, I know you're an extremely busy guy, but you seem to be such a great community type of a community connector in the Valley. And so I'd love to kind of just have you be involved in whatever capacity you can with Local Buzz. So originally he begrudgingly came on to be an advisor and help to make some connections and help bring some people on board onto the first iteration of the Local Buzz platform. And over the period of time, working together and helping me out, I think he saw like what the big potential and the big opportunity is for Local Buzz. And so he started to dedicate a lot more time and effort around this. And, we've got to learn how to, learn in working on this, how we work well together, and it's one of those things where our relationship had just kind of developed over the course of that time, and it's just been truly remarkable. It's been amazing. So where we are today, go ahead, Tony.
No, I thought, it's been amazing, past 3 years. I mean, all the trials and tribulations we went through, Local Buzz, they just happened like a year ago. It was a 3-year run. And I was doing the night market, running, snow and all this sort of stuff. And like, we went through a lot. We went through a roller coaster ride, because to understand local communities is very complex, right? And very complex of what really, how to serve the people, how to serve the communities, and how to bring this about. But at the same time, we had to work back end stuff like, the YC Combinator that you went through, the Founder Institute. So Adrian disappeared to the Founder Institute for 3 months, an intense startup program. He got accepted, and only like 30% can pass, right? And Adrian was the 30%. But the 3 months before that, when Adrian said, "Hey, I got to do this Founder Institute program that's gonna help, build the startup up, the training, all that, it's intense." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna take a break for 3 months." The first week, Adrian's like, "We got a project to do." I'm like, "When did I become? how did I become a part of this?" But so for 3 months, there was a tense 3 months that every week we had to do assignments, so they know what your startup team and all you guys are accomplishing to get through it. But yeah, so Adrian passed, the 30% that passed, because everyone used this high percentage fail rate, and we got through it. And yeah, so but other than that.
So fast forward to today, we've launched a brand new platform. We encourage you guys to check it out. I'm going to put in our URL. It's simply localbuzz.co. So what we have is a website with a community section. So we actually have 2 communities now. So we've been in the Phoenix community with this brand new platform since December. And we just recently expanded to a new community. So now we're operating in the Austin, Texas area. Tony and I just flew out there.
Just to add on, we flew out there a couple weeks ago. We launched it, and before that we had early adopters sign on. And to be honest, I'm pretty proud to say about Phoenix is that, Phoenix's community that's on the platform Local Buzz and all the content that's being provided on there is leading example of what communities, the company culture, what communities is about. And people over in Austin, they said they've been watching Phoenix's content and they think it's really cool, it's awesome, it's positive. So everyone in Phoenix, man, this is this is a thumbs up for all of us in the city, right? So keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, since we've launched, I've been extremely pleased with what I'm seeing on the platform. It's really cool to see all these different facets of what's happening in the community. I've seen everything from car show meetups to people that are growing mushrooms and all these cool, interesting vegetables in their gardens, right? To farmers markets, to wine tasting, to happy hour specials and all that type of stuff. And because of that, I'm discovering so much more of my community and all the interesting facets, right? And it goes beyond just local businesses. Really, we want Local Buzz to be a reflection of what local life is about, right? And really have a place where people can come together and feel and start building that connection or rebuilding that connection to our local communities. So in addition to our website, we actually have a mobile app as well, both on Android and on an iPhone. And that's probably a better experience, right? Because like it's just native, and that's an opportunity for our people to really start to socialize on that platform as well. So you can contribute content, but you can also comment back and forth, and you can be able to ask questions of the people that are creating the post on that. We're almost at the 20-minute marker of talking about Local Buzz. So I don't know if Kate is planning on coming back pretty soon.
I'm here.
But okay, great. So I don't know if you want to, if you have a series of questions or anything like that that you want to do.
No questions
Q&A
yet,
sessions?
but I have
Okay.
a couple for you.
Sure, absolutely.
How did COVID impact your business?
Oh, wow.
Great question. Yeah. So we started our first fundraise in December of 2019. And right at that time, we were gearing up, and then like around February timeframe, we were making connections, having discussions with angel investors at that time. And then all of a sudden, like March comes around, and all the investors were like, "Hey, look, this whole COVID thing is like really crazy. We don't know what the future is going to hold for us. So at this point, we're kind of on lockdown mode." So all of a sudden, like all the conversations just stopped for Local Buzz. And so we were like, "Oh my gosh, what do we do at this, during this time? Because we really need to fundraise in order to put us in that position to build this current MVP version of the platform." And so Tony, during this time of building all these relationships and connections in the community, primarily with like local business owners, and when he was talking about Local Buzz and getting them to sign up on our platform, he was like, "Hey, look, we're going to be building this great thing," and a number of them were so interested in this, like seeing this mobile app being built. They're like, "Hey, I'm actually interested in becoming an investor." So we ended up having a lot of discussions with people in the Phoenix community that are just local business owners that Tony knew, and I'd say, probably 90% of all the funds that we raised in the kind of like what we call the friends and family rounds, like came from local business owners. And so we're very, very fortunate to be in that situation where during the pandemic, we're able to raise some money, so that put us in a position to finally start development on that platform around March, around May timeframe, so during the summer. And then it got us in the position to launch in December. But during that time, we still had our first version of the platform, which was still based on this WordPress thing. And so we were still keeping that up and running. But yeah, that, the traffic during that time, starting in March, you could see it start to precipitously drop, right? And so we were looking for ways in which, how can we help local communities during this time where like really all this like chaotic thing was happening. And so there was a lot of stuff that was happening. So like, for instance, we put together a section on the site called Local Together, where businesses could simply post, "Hey, this is like some of the things that we're doing to help out in the community." So for instance, like, grocery stores, like we're running out of supplies during that time.
You ran out toothbrushes, right?
Toothbrushes. What's that? But a lot of restaurants had those supplies, right? And so we create a section on the site where local businesses can simply post, "Hey, this is what we're doing. We've got all these supplies if you need them," right? And then we put together kind of this map that outline, okay, these are where these businesses are, and these are the supplies that they had.
Great. We have a couple quick questions if you have a moment. We'll try to
Yeah.
run through these pretty quickly. How are you approaching such a crowd vertical social media with your offering to differentiate it?
Great question. Yeah. So we're doing a couple things. Part of it is technology. So we've designed this platform to be really an open platform, right? So you don't have to sign up to be able to see what's happening in the Phoenix area. That's why we've created this like great web experience into our as well as our mobile application. And that also allows us to do another thing, allows our content to be shareable. So now what we can do is leverage the power of existing social media platforms to get the word out about the content that's being posted on posted on Local Buzz. So now when you're posting something on Local Buzz, you can simply share that on Facebook, and on Twitter.
Okay, this is an interesting one. I can't find anything about your mission vision on Local Buzz on the website. Is that intentional?
Well, so yeah, at this juncture, it's not intentional. But at this juncture, we're focused on building the community aspect of it. And so there's so many things that we're juggling, and so we're really focused on building the community experience on the website as well as the mobile app, and we're really trying to grow this organically. The concept for Local Buzz is kind of nuanced, right? It's familiar but different at the same time. It's familiar in the sense that it's very similar to kind of like a video TikTok experience, but it's very nuanced in a sense that it's very very hyper localized. And so this is, in a sense, it's really strange that this is a kind of a foreign concept in itself. But we were planning on having a section on our website that will provide that information on kind of the mission and vision for Local Buzz.
Great. Last question. How can we best support you? Are there any resources you're looking for or connections that you're looking for?
Well, right now, it's really getting the community involved, right? It's about helping each other to get to know Phoenix so much more in every aspect, right? And it's not one of those things where, our communities are static and it's just like, we're not an information platform. We're really this great content experience platform where it highlights on a day-to-day basis what makes Phoenix so special, and be able to bring out that, or be able to highlight the dynamic nature of what communities are all about. So really, get it. We encourage everybody to check out their website, to download our app, to discover, go out and experience Phoenix and what Phoenix has to offer. This is the value that we bring, that we hope to bring at the very least.
The value of Local Buzz is that it's the storytelling, knowing that we're who in the community, who is who and who's what and what they're doing, that makes Phoenix beautiful, right? Or even like places you go to hiking or outdoor. I just posted this morning about taking the dog to the park with the pet community. Those kind of things, you don't see those stuff. You won't see those kind of stuff like highlighted on Instagram or other platforms. The number one thing that people say about Local Buzz, the feedback, is that I feel connected to know what's happening around me. And visually in that kind of way means more than anything else than trying to create some kind of hype platform. It's just about feeling connected to your community. And that's what Local Buzz is about. So,
Tony, Adrian, thank you so much for telling us about Local Buzz. And thank you for all the work that you're doing. The connection is so important, especially right now.
yes.
So thank you for being here. Take care.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of the Friday.